My parents thought my twin and I were dead weights, so they left us in the hospital and went to another country. Now they want to be in our lives. Again, so I laughed at them. Our family has an interesting story. My bio-mother's side and bio-father's side have 2 marriages between the families. One of them is our bio-parents, and one of them is between my bio-mom's brother and my bio-dad's sister. My bio-mom Linda and bio-dad Chris actually met in my uncle's and aunt's engagement dinner when both of them were 16. Linda and Chris are still complete wrecks. My bio-dad was the troubled one of the family who would have problems with school or work, and my bio-mom has had addiction issues since she was 14. When they met and started to have a relationship, both sides of the family tried to break them up. They even sent them to different countries, but they stole $50K USD from their families, managed to come together, and ran away when they were 19. They got married in a third world country, and they had me and my twin brother when they were 21 years old. They thought we were dead weights, so they left us in the hospital and went into another country. Luckily, they checked into the hospital with their passports, so the hospital reached the embassy. Then they found my grandparents and they brought us back home, and we have been raised by our uncle and aunt since. We call them mom and dad. My parents were charged with child abandonment, but after 10 years of being MIA, the charges were dropped and our families also didn't try to look for them. 2 years ago, they showed up at my dad's parents' house in a completely renovated look. Turns out they have finished their education, had stable jobs in the country, started to get mental health treatments, and were sober for 9 years, and they have basically put themselves together. At first 6 months, they have only seen their parents in public places, then they were accepted into the houses. A year later, they met with us when we were 24. Me and my twin brother started to have a relationship with them, and we are somewhat cordial right now. Last week, our abandonment topic was opened, and Linda said it was the hardest choice they have made. I started to laugh uncontrollably after that, and when they asked, told them they had multiple choices to come back, and they didn't. Our families were right not to trust them, and they would always have their eyes on them, and they should accept this at this stage. Linda started to cry, and they left shortly. All of the family except my brother think I am being too cruel, and I should apologize, but I think they had to hear the unfiltered truth. Update. Some stuff happened since that post first. My bio-mom and bio-dad are not allowed to contact me unless they want to go in jail. A good friend of mine from high school is a lawyer, and he advised me to prepare a cease and desist letter. He did it for me without any charges, because he said that's what good friends do. My brother is sad that I am not even entertaining the idea of a relationship, but he says it is okay and he understands it. He just sees them from a different perspective, the same perspective that he sees the patients he is taking care of. My mother and father weren't happy about the restraining order and accused me of being cruel and heartless. They said I am the embodiment of a demon, and they said they will cut contact with me if I ever put this plan into action. I said, well, consider this as our last talk then, and left their house. I am residing at my own apartment that my grandparents gave me as a birthday present on my 18th birthday. So no worries, it is in my name, and no one can touch it. We haven't spoken a word since, and I doubt this will change in the foreseeable future. My parents are too forgiving, and since childhood, I was told I am being too vindictive. This still continues from their side. My parents say I remind them of my great-grandfather who ruined people's lives just because they did small things wrong to him. I am not going to try to argue with that. My grandparents, though, they have understood my perspective and they said they would respect my boundaries, but they also asked me to respect their boundaries to have a relationship. I said of course, and we had an agreement. I still love them so much, and I am lucky enough to have compassionate parental figures that can understand where I am coming from. Other extended family members have divided into 2. Most of them think I am cruel and they don't want to have a relationship with me anymore other than being civil around each other, and some of them still want to protect the relationship we have. I can live with this. I am also back in therapy. Thanks to my brother, he arranged a session with the therapist and also an appointment with a psychiatrist in his hospital, so I am currently back in therapy and started to use antidepressants. It doesn't solve all the problems, but it helps. As it for me, my life continues as my birth parents never showed up. I go to work and have some me time on the weekends and spend some time with my friends whenever I can find the time, and I go visit my grandparents once every 2 weeks. They live next door to each other. My brother is my next door neighbor, so we eat most of the dinners together when he is not on the night shifts. That night, I mostly find a guy